Welcome to Crime Scene Mysteries, the channel where we explore some of the most shocking and disturbing cases in history. Today, we're going to talk about the murder of Katie Autry, a college freshman who was brutally raped, stabbed, and set on fire in her dorm room in 2003. This case sparked a lot of controversy and debate, as two men were accused of the crime, but only one was convicted. Who killed Katie Autry and why? Let's find out. Katie Autry was an 18-year-old student at Western Kentucky University who had just graduated from high school in 2002. She was described as a quiet but friendly girl who had dreams of becoming a nurse. On the night of May 3, 2003, she attended a party at the Pi Kappa Alpha fraternity house on Chestnut Street, where she met two men, Stephen Soules and Lucas Goodrum. Soules was a 20-year-old former student who had dropped out of UQ, and Goodrum was a 21-year-old from Scottsville, Kentucky, who was not enrolled at the university. According to Soules' later confession, he and Goodrum followed Katie to her dorm room at Hugh Poland Hall after the party. There, they forced their way into her room and sexually assaulted her. They also stabbed her with a sharp object, possibly a pen or a pencil, and sprayed her with hairspray. Then they set her on fire and left her to die. They also stole some items from her room, such as a laptop and a cell phone, to make it look like a robbery. The fire alarm went off around 4:00 a.m. and firefighters arrived at the scene shortly after. They found Katie's body on the floor of her room, severely burned from her neck to her knee. They performed CPR on her and rushed her to the hospital. She was then flown to Vanderbilt University Medical Center in Nashville, where she remained in critical condition for 3 days. She died on May 7, 2003, from her injuries. The police launched an investigation into the murder and quickly identified Soules and Goodrum as the prime suspects. They were arrested on May 9, 2003 and charged with capital murder, rape, sodomy, arson, and robbery. Soules initially denied any involvement in the crime, but later changed his story several times. He eventually confessed to raping and stabbing Katie, but claimed that Goodrum was the one who set her on fire. He also agreed to testify against Goodrum in exchange for a plea deal. Goodrum, on the other hand, maintained his innocence throughout the trial. He said that he had never met Katie before and that he had an alibi for the night of the murder. He said that he had left the party around 2:00 a.m. and drove back to his home in Scottsville with his father and stepmother. His parents corroborated his story and said that he was home by the time the fire alarm went off at UQ. The prosecution relied heavily on Soules' testimony to prove Goodrum's guilt. They also presented evidence such as DNA samples from Katie's body and clothing that matched Soules and Goodrum, hairspray cans that were found in Goodrum's car that matched the ones used to ignite the fire, and items that were stolen from Katie's room that were recovered from Soules' apartment. The defense argued that Soules' testimony was unreliable and inconsistent, and that he had lied to save himself from the death penalty. They also challenged the validity of the DNA evidence, saying that it could have been contaminated or planted by Soules. They also pointed out that there was no physical evidence linking Goodrum to the crime scene or the fire. The trial lasted for 3 weeks in March 2005. The jury deliberated for about 2.5 hours before reaching a verdict. They found Goodrum not guilty of all charges, acquitting him of Katie's murder. Goodrum cried tears of relief and hugged his lawyers after hearing the verdict. Soules pleaded guilty to charges of rape, murder, robbery, and arson in April 2004. He was sentenced to life in prison without parole. He is currently serving his sentence at Kentucky State Penitentiary. The murder of Katie Autry remains one of the most horrific and controversial cases in Kentucky history. Many people still believe that Goodrum was involved in the crime, while others think that he was wrongfully accused by Soules. Some even suspect that there may have been a third person involved in the attack. What do you think? Who killed Katie Autry and why? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more true crime stories. Thank you for watching.